Here we go. Back now. Round number 13. Around Hungary. I've dropped Maverick because of that safety car antic he did over in Spa. So I've picked up someone else. You want to reveal yourself?
Yeah, old school 3000, sir. I'm just,
At your
people having
service.
a go. People having a go at me for not adding them. Excuse me. It's 2 a.m. Commentating on your race. New stewarding. 2 hours sleep. I'm on the mood. How about that? How about we kick this off? No, but in all seriousness, yeah, this is going to be cool. It's been. I just caught Silverstone. It was a little bit temperamental, right? Jeez, some of the driving,
I think a little bit is a bit of an understatement, I'm not going to lie. It was definitely something. I will admit that was definitely something. Hopefully we don't have a repeat.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, so just having a little look here. We haven't done the. Well, we do have a. Can we share the slightly provisional standings? Do you feel that's
Yeah, I mean,
appropriate?
I've put them in the admin chat anyway, so that is the standings before any of the stewards reports. That I don't know if there's been any that's like had any changes. Oh yeah, there's definitely a
Mm.
few. Okay, that I need to update. So you can probably show the provisional ones. That's fine. I think they're more just for the ones that haven't been updated since I think the beginning of Britain. So they are
Hmm.
provisional.
Yeah, so the absolute units from 260. Relentless 223. I'm reading this kind of second hand. ERT with 189. NER with 189.
QBR 192.
QBR with. Wow, they've done some stuff since I've been asleep. They decided to wake up. That's interesting. BJR with 179. IFR with 166. There's loads in the 140s as well. XL 146, V 148, and Sajips with 149. Plenty to do, plenty to go.
Yeah, no, there certainly is. Right on board at the moment with Gravity 151. Who is our one that is supposed to be DNFing for this race? Is it the Olimpo boys? If I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, Olimpo, so Ishida, he's already, I think, invalidated on his lap time. I can see he's at the very back of the grid anyway, so that's good to see. Killer Blue and Nathan both battling it out at the moment for the top end of this race. Hungary, definitely not a personal favourite of mine. I see Gravity going a little bit wide at the exit of turn 4. But yeah, as I said, not exactly a favourite, shall I say, of this track. So it's going to be an interesting one, I will admit. But yeah, I think this could make for some great racing, because Hungary usually does, as weird as it is, that everyone calls it the Monaco without walls. It makes for some great racing sometimes.
It does. No one, and obviously a lot of people are in agreement because no one's picked this as their double points.
Yeah.
No one's loving the mean streets of Hungary. But tell you what, the standards have dropped because Killer was nowhere earlier, and Killer is now looking to put himself on pole. The sweats have gone to bed, and Nathan pips him.
You say the sweats have gone to bed. I think there's still one that's still remaining in this lobby. He does manage to take the pole position, though. I'm sure. I don't think Nathan would really care about me saying that he is a sweat, because I'm sure he'd proudly admit it. But yeah, he takes pole with Killer in second and Ginger in third. And then we'll run through the rest of the standings, or you can run through the rest of the standings whilst I get just the results put in order for yourselves. So yeah, go on, Mark, take us through. What's this score? What's this grid looking like?
Yeah, so we've got Nathan in first, Killer Blue in second for Excel, FRL Ginger for the Humble Squad in third, IFR Tom Robbo, Shizu Kun, VSR Xander, The Big Panther, TTG Noisy, Sambam Kid, Speed Iceman, NLR Will You, Spaghetti Chips, a name I've not seen in a while, Vapor Yenrik in 13th, Gravity for the Irish in 14th, Charlie Harris, the guy that called me lazy, in 15th. Good luck to you, sir. ERT Nick Raysigan, obviously one of our. Is it Nick Raysigan? Is that how you say it? Silent in 17th. Hooky in 18th. Zexa in 19th. And we had It's Ashido, of course, doing his last to first. Someone qualified on mediums there. I couldn't quite work out for why. Obviously a strategy decision there, but they were quite quick because they beat 3 people that were on softs. Whoever's in 17th, I believe.
This makes this very, very interesting. I will admit, but yeah, at the moment, so Nathan was the one that was on pole, Killer was in second, Ginger in third. That's going to be an interesting start. Obviously, Nathan and
Yeah.
Killer both in front. Two pad users, I suppose. Um, yeah, I feel like this could be an interesting start for these guys. And I suppose we'll wait and see how this is going to play out. Obviously, round number 13 of 22. There isn't a formation lap or park ferme on, so this is going to be interesting. Um, I don't know if the lobby settings are set up right, but I mean, it is lights out and away we go for round number 13. Nathan does get a very good getaway. Killer Blue trying to just sit in the slipstream of him. Ginger trying to go around the outside, maybe in towards turn number 1, as well as Tom Robbo maybe trying to go for a move as well around turn 1, but doesn't manage to get that move done in the end. Kuhn also trying to maybe look on eye up a move on the IFR driver, but can't seem to get a move done. Tom Robbo maybe trying to go down the inside of Killer, coming out and towards turn number 2, but can't get any sort of move done. They're just sort of going 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark through turn 3. A little bit wide goes the NLR driver of Will You, and looking all relatively clean so far, coming up the hill and towards turn number 4 mark.
It is. I think I've had a bit of a Western Supermare, obviously turn the formation off for whatever reason. I'm 99% sure the safe start isn't on. Let's pray it's not, because I know that you guys had some problems with that just earlier from looking through the chat. But it's Charlie making a good move on Gravity, to be fair. Ooh, and Gravity going really wide. There's a lot of people struggling, but it is late. It is late. So I can understand this is not the kind of time most people are normally doing league racing, unless you're racing some very strange American leagues. So a lot of people just having a few little offs there in the midfield. Noisy's round.
Yeah, I was about to say, you say that, Noisy going around, I think at the exit of the penultimate corner, so yeah, very unfortunate for him. I've just seen a car just weaving in the background. I think that was Nick. I don't know what that was for, but just seen Nick weaving in the background. I don't know if he was just trying to heat up his tyres or what. But at the moment, yeah, it looks as if the Big Panther's starting to drop off a little bit from those top 6 guys. Nathan does manage to maintain the lead of the race. Ginger jumping Killer Blue at the beginning of that race. Tom Robbo keeping that P4. Kuhn in 5th, Mazana in 6th. Will You sort of manages to get the move done on Sandbank Kid as well for that P9 position, and trying to just project the NLR boys up a little bit further, all over the back of the speed driver of Iceman.
Yeah, it's everyone's in that DRS train all the way down to silent, and then there's only just a bit of a gap, and then we've got obviously Noisy and Nick. I wonder if Nick's got some sort of damage where he doesn't want to engage with anybody. Yeah, don't know. People say I'm being far too professional. Fuck you.
Okay, alright, fair enough. On a charity stream, fair play, fair play. I suppose that's then kind of blown that right out of the water for professionalism, so yeah, fair enough.
Sorry.
Alright, yeah. I've just been told by Toxic Tomato that apparently corner cutting is on regular. So,
I don't even understand. This is the really strange thing, because I took this from some settings that I saved for a race. So I don't even understand how that would be. It's my fault entirely, in all seriousness, but I should have checked them, but I can't even work out how. This would have been from a league race.
Yeah. I'm not too sure how, to be honest with you, but I can see where you're trying to go down the inside of Sandbone Kid, coming through turn number 2 and around the outside of turn number 3. I know it is lap 3 of 35, and I don't know if we should. No, I don't think we should be able to reset the lobby. I think we might just have to carry it on as it is. It's for charity at the end of the day, but I feel like we might have to just carry it on anyway. So, Will You just trying to hold it around the outside of Speed Iceman, coming through the chicane. They're both still side by side through the chicane, keeping it as tight as you can. And Will You gets the move done on Iceman in the end through it. So, very nice move indeed. Nolan, for some reason, saying both messed up lobbies have involved myself in the stream. So, he's putting the blame on me for it. Not too sure why, because I haven't I'd not set up the lobby, man. So I don't know what I can suggest. Gendrick going around, I think, at the exit of the 90-degree right-hander at the beginning, of Sector 3. So the Vapor driver not having the best of starts to his race. Didn't even get to say like what's going on outside the top 10, because I can see Spag, Gravity, Silent, Ishida and Nick all on a set of the medium tyres. So yeah, they're going to try and go long for their first stint, and obviously go 2 sets of softs probably towards the end of the race. Probably pit around lap, what, I'd want to say lap 17 or 16 and take 2 sets of softs maybe, or take another set of mediums and then softs. I don't know, it depends on how they want to try and do it. I suppose, like Singapore, it might, and Mexico, like Singapore, sorry, it might just be the case they're going to go for 2 sets of the medium tyres. I feel like, Mark, we're going to be in for another long one around Hungary.
No, I agree. I feel like this is a soft medium. I can't. I don't know if the softs are just too poor. I just can't see that as being a good idea, to be honest. I can't see. I'm having a quick look at the settings, and I'm looking at the lobby settings. I can't weirdly. You can't see if it's on regular or not. What I would say though, actually, and I'm not trying to blag this, but I feel like this track having.
These guys, again, I don't know what had happened throughout that. Literally only missed the 1 lap, which is fine, but I don't know what has keep going on with this. For some reason my PC just seems to keep on, well, just slightly crashing and then fixing itself, but then it closes the Streamlabs for some strange reason. So I really hope we don't have another issue like that again. Hopefully those are the 2 only issues that we're going to have just with the stream alone. But yeah, I said I can only apologise about that. Don't know why it keeps on doing that, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Yeah, as I said, there's only 1 lap that we missed. There wasn't really anything that happened in the 1 lap. It's all more or less just happening on this lap. A few of the guys making their pit stops, the likes of Big Panther, Sambam Kid, Charlie Harris and Noisy, all came into the pits, as you can see on your screens. But yeah, sorry Mark, so you were saying something about, like, or you were saying something just before the stream cut off?
Yeah, I think most people do a soft, medium. I'm actually quite shocked that most people are still out on those softs. I think you want to get rid of them. They overheat to hell with. They're not fun to drive on. But the top 4 kind of separating themselves a little bit at this point. Which, seeing the names out there, not too surprising. I'm surprised to actually see Xander to getting dropped a bit, but he is racing a lot of races in a row, so he may not have practiced for this one.
Yeah, no, exactly, I agree. So, yeah, a few more guys just making their way into the pits now. Ginger, Killer Blue, Tom Robbo all coming into the pits. And, yeah, it means that Nathan now leads the race, will still lead the way off this race, and Zander in second, William Bogart into third. We'll see where the rest of these medium runners actually emerge out in relation to everybody else, but I thought Killer Blue was just getting held up a little bit then, but it's just a little bit of a glitch on my end on that. But yeah, he emerges out just behind FRL Ginger for that 10th position, and Ginger just 2 seconds now behind Nick. So they're going to be catching up to a few more gaggle of cars up in front, and yeah, I don't know how it's... well, they're going to be caught out quite significantly. It might allow Nathan and Zander to go for the overcut on those guys. So that might have been why they weren't really pitting at that point, to try and go for a bit of an overcut, so they weren't held up by any of the other cars. But I mean, in doing so, I think the mediums are quite significantly quicker anyway, so it might just be the risk to take, I suppose.
Yeah, and Ginger is only really... He's only going to just come onto the back of Nick, isn't he? So, if anything, actually, I feel like they found the slightest of clean air, which is only going to benefit them. And yeah, I feel like Nathan could lose out here.
Yeah, no, I certainly do get that as well. So, yeah, Nathan, Zander, and Will you all into the pits now as well. Just see where, of course, they're going to merge out in relation to everybody else. Of course, Silent and Gravity, as well as Spag and Ishida, not made their pit stop as of yet. Nathan just emerging out of the pits now. In very nice, I was going to say, a nice clean air, but he's side by side with Nick coming through turn 1. Nick did leave him that room on the inside. Nathan, I don't think will actually have any DRS. Nick won't have any DRS either. So it's just down to pure straight line speed. And Nick is the one that comes out on top. That goes a little bit wide coming through turn 2. So Nathan might try and go for a move maybe in towards turn 4. Nick he's gonna be using that ERS. He's gonna go down the inside. Nick shoves him out from that, and Nathan, he's gone round.
Wow. How's he not got damage? Oh no. Has he not got damage? Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, I don't. His car's clearly made of unobtainium. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, hopefully no one clocks that.
I think that's a
The
bit too
racing
late, I'm
standards
not
might.
gonna lie.
I feel like the racing standards might drop slightly if people. I don't know what's going on with this lobby. Literally. I'll show you the settings. Absolutely insane. What these settings are, I have no idea. I loaded them. They came in. There's no settings I've ever used in my life. I don't understand. This game sometimes, honestly.
Well, this is definitely an interesting predicament, I suppose is the way to put it. I'm sure the Relentless guys are absolutely loving you for it, because if Nathan's got no damage, then I'm sure they'll be very happy that that's happened. But I mean, Killer Blue now goes into the net race lead. Zander's trying to go for a move on Shizukun coming up in towards turn number 4, but not going to be close enough to get the move done. A little bit further up in the field, Gravity and Ishida all over the back of Ecos Silent, and yeah, I've also been apparently told that tyre temps are also locked, so it's not surface and carcass for the temperatures. Apparently it might just be surface, so yeah, there's definitely been a bit of mare, I will admit.
I mean, I've never used surface only temp. It doesn't even make any sense. I never use regular corner cutting. It's just, what is this? It's great racing though. Pad users are loving me. If Killer wins this, at least with Stewart's inquiry, considering he's my old teammate, it's set up perfectly for him. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I'll double check it. I'm going to be co-host for the next race, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I will double check it, and it won't happen for the next race. I assure you.
Yeah, hopefully not. But Killer trying to maybe look for a move on Nick, trying to do what Nathan couldn't do, and just maintains that position behind him as well. So I suppose should we count this as the Joker race of the event? You reckon?
Yeah, I think the guys are doing really well. In all seriousness, like considering this is an absolute box of tricks for settings, it doesn't. It's not. Well, there's a long way to go. It's not played out like it's a ridiculous race so far. You know, people are doing really well with it. So, thank you to the drivers. Yeah, I don't know. Just feel a bit of a dick right now, to be completely honest. I don't know what I could have done. Obviously, I regularly race with regular corner cuts and surface only. That's how. These are the streets that I live in. Regular corner cuts, no damage, and surface only items.
Yeah, this is definitely something very interesting. Something also very interesting. Tom Robert trying to go down the inside of Killer Blue in towards turn number 1. He's still side by side with the AlphaTauri for XL. Not going to be able to get the move done. And now Killer might try and go for a move on Nick. But again, unfortunately not going to be close enough. There's a little bit of a spin going down at the back end of the grid. That I believe is the Vapor driver of Gendrick. And I think Vapor are probably going to be screaming that this is going to be... that this race is going to be voided. However, I highly doubt that it would be. Yeah, I think again this might just have to carry on as it is. It's still going to be the 2-stop though, so if we see no one doing a 2-stop, then they'll be disqualified from the race anyway. As I said, at the end of the day, it is all for charity. As I said, just consider this the absolute Joker race. Killer Blue and Tom Robbo both going side by side through the S section, and Tom Robbo, I don't know what had happened there, but got the move done. I don't know if Killer made a mistake or got bumped or anything, but well, I suppose with no damage on, we might see a bit of bumping going on.
This is it. Smack each other off, can't cause each other any damage. Stewards will love it. Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that. Do not plant the seed on their heads, man.
Regular corner cuts as well. You can just straight line the chicane and take someone off.
Oh no. Anyway, Killer Blue still trying to alpha move again on Tom Robin, but can't seem to find any way down. And now you've also got Ginger Coon and Xander all trying to find their way through in this train as well. And I remember Tom Robbo just leading them away, now caught up to the back again of Nick once again. And yeah, I think that Nick is now the leader of this train. As saying that Gravity, a little bit of an off coming through turn 3. Also taken too much of that curb on that left hand side and on the right hand side as well, entering into turn 3. And it's completely chucked him around. So down into 12th goes the Tic Tac driver. And yeah, at the moment, Tom Robbo is our net race leader, Killer Blue in second, and yeah, I think this well, the only way that this race could go a bit more interesting if people were to be deliberately crashing each other, which I really hope I have not just said that's going to happen. I'm just saying I think that could make that a bit more. Well, I don't know how that could make that any more of a Joker race.
Drink it in, lads. Spaghetti Chips, who has not run a race in 809 days, is leading. He is leading this race. He's probably not going to win it, but it's been a long time since he's led a race, I assume.
Certainly is. Tom Robbo though eyeing up a move for Nick. Coming up towards turn one. Nick not going to go defensive on that. He's still down the inside. Goes the IFR driver. Spinner down further in the field is NLR Will You. Unfortunately having that spin at the final corner, but Tom Robbo getting that move done on Nick in the end. And Killer Blue again still can't seem to find any sort of move on the ERT driver, so has to stay behind the Red Bull at the moment. A little bit further down though, Kuhn and I think it might have been Ginger, both going side by side, and Kuhn had to back out of that one as Killer Blue still cannot find a way past Nick. And at this point, the guys that are on a set of mediums, they might come in at the end of this lap, I might actually assume. This lap or end of next lap, there's been another spinner a little bit further down the field. That is in fact Zander, who was fighting within that net top 5 position. So unfortunately the VSR driver having that spin completely cut across the chicane, and there's a bit of decent going on. Did you just see that?
No. He's got sent to the Shadow Realm, I think.
Yeah, that's more than the Shadow Realm. I don't know what.
He's spinning like me at 3 AM and on an average night out at Watford 10 years ago. He looks as steady on his feet, look, sauntering through the main streets. Oh, nearly. There we are. It's literally like watching me in my prime. Unbelievable.
Oh, I'm crying, man. This is just so funny at this point. Oh. I can't believe what's going on here, man.
Fair play for carrying on. He's DNF'd. Oh, after he's DNF'd, and he got a silent round.
Oh, that's very, very strange why he's DNF'd, to be honest with you. I don't know, he just got absolutely chucked out at the exit of the chicane, but yeah, I don't know why he's DNF'd, because everyone still gets points no matter what, but
I don't really I just feel like he didn't want to carry on anymore. I can heavily relate commentating on this event at 2 AM in the morning. But yeah, it's I don't know. Lost my train of thought. Spaghetti Chips is just out here for the vibes, isn't he? Look, he's loving it. He wants the TV time. Let's give him a slight bit of TV time. Let's give the lad some TV time. Look at him. He's gloriously winning this race.
Exactly.
For no reason at all.
Yeah, Ishida and Silent both made their way into the pits to go for their first stop. Obviously, they're going on another set of the medium tyres, so they're going to go to probably lap 28 or 29, I want to say, and then go on a fresh set of the softs to go to the end. I wonder if the other medium runners, though, that pit on like lap 8 or something, might try and extend those mediums to about that time and then go on a set of the softs to the end of the race. It could happen. Or they could just be going on another set of the mediums. A few guys have done a medium so far. A few guys have done soft medium. So yeah, I think Spag's going to be under quite a bit of pressure very soon from Tom Robbo and Killer and Ginger and Kuhn as well. Nathan, despite having a spin with Nick and finding out that his car is made of absolute titanium, he is catching back up to the back of Killer, Ginger and Kuhn as well. So what is actually a 4-way fight for the race leaders. Finally Spag comes into the pits. He's had his TV time and I think he's content with it, so he's now into the pits. Tom Robbo now emerges in the lead of the race. He got the DRS from Spag, interestingly enough, as well as Killer Blue is closed up to the back of Tom Robbo to go down. I thought he was going to try and go for a move in towards turn 1, but with Tom Robbo getting that DRS, it's kind of just hindered that move for him indeed. Spag goes on the fresh set of the soft, so the first one to do a pit stop and go on a set of the soft compounder tyre, which means that I think he will go for a set of the mediums at the end of the race, which won't surprise me. I said I think it is a medium, soft medium, or soft medium, medium, or something like that. I said there may be a few brave ones that will try to do soft, medium, soft, but as long as they do the 2 stops, then that's fine. If they don't do the 2 stops, then yeah, then they get disqualified from the race. At the moment, the only one that is yet to stop is Gravity, up in 8th position, just up in front of Charlie Harris and TNR Zexar, if I said that right. Yeah, I think this is going to be this could make for an interesting race, especially if I've seen what I did at the exit of that chicane. I think this could make for a very, very interesting race.
Yeah, it's building up. It's building up. There's not quite the sense of peril that you have because everyone's cars are indestructible. But actually, in some ways, I don't know. It's a wild card race. We'll call it the wild card race, won't we? Let's just, we might mix it up again in a few hours. 5 a.m. It's not a wet race. Surprise! It's actually dry.
To be fair, I think the Humble Boys wouldn't be too dissatisfied with that, if I'm honest with you. I'm sure they'd be happy that if USA wasn't actually a wet race. Should have just done this as the wet race instead, to be honest with you. I think that would have been a lot more entertaining. No damage.
Oh, don't it? It might still rain. Who knows?
Yeah, it could just be on dynamic.
Oh dear. But Spag is getting held up. I don't know the wisdom of this strategy because he's kind of getting held up behind Itsushida and Will Yu, so don't know if this is the wisest idea necessarily. But then again, he's not really going to lose much because I think most of them are going to go back onto the mediums as well, I would assume.
Yeah, it'll probably chuck on a fresh set of mediums towards the end of the towards the end of the stint. Oh, he has. He's got past them. So fair play to Spag for that one. Getting the move done. 1.2 seconds now off the back of Sandbound Kid. I'm sure they'll just drag those other medium runners up to the back of them. But Williams is having a little bit of an issue, I think, coming through the fast right-hander of the Hungary. Nick just all over the back of the Aston Martin driver, but I don't think he's going to be able to get any sort of move done. As Killer Blue getting a move done on Tom Robbo finally. In fact, they're both side by side. Tom Robbo's going to have the DRS coming out in towards turn 2, so have the inside, but Killer Blue maintains that outside and gets that move done. He'll have the inside for turn 3. I don't know if Tom Robbins is going to attempt to go for something in towards turn 4. He might do, but no, the Mercedes driver just backs off for now, so ends up getting that P2, unfortunately for him, but very good for XL. No bias whatsoever, but go on, Killer, take that win.
Great move. And Robbo did not want to give it up at all, did he? So it's a really good battle in between the top 5. They're all in that same battle. Nathan's done really well to latch onto the back of this train. He's one to look at with the slightly newer tyres. Lots going on, and I tell you what, Spagger's doing a fantastic effort of putting pressure on Sandbam Kid as well, so maybe a bit of an inspired choice after all. Made me eat my words.
Yeah, no, I feel like he has at the moment. It's just when they get to that DRS as well, I think that's when Spag will have the opportunity of being able to get past Sandman Kid, because at the moment he's all over the back of him. And yeah, I think we might see that move going down into towards turn 1. Sandman Kid just having to try and defend from the Haas, but I think it's inevitable at this point that he is just going to get past with him not having any DRS out in front. So there we go, DRS wide open. Spag pulls to the inside. Ishida's going to follow him through. Down the inside goes Spag in the Haas. Move done. That's all he needed to do. Only problem though, Sandbam Kid has got DRS once again as Ishida's gone round at the exit of turn 1. So very, very unfortunate for very unfortunate for Ishida. And yeah, unfortunately for him, has completely gone around.
Yeah, nasty little spin there. It just seemed like he caught the rear of someone's car and just sent him around. A little bit like a Max Verstappen Silverstone crash, but not quite as crazy as you got. Nick is all over the back of Sandbam Kid. Got to be thinking that potentially we're going to start seeing some undercut attempts here from the guys that have been out on the mediums for 12, 11 laps. I feel like this is now the time where you'd start to consider pitting to try and jump that train, but No one seems to have the same idea so far.
Well, a little bit further up in front now, Gravity's come in for his first stop. So, yeah, first stop for the Tic Tac co-driver. He might try and go for 2 sets of softs, I think. He's taken those 20 laps, so if he can take those 20 laps, there's another 8 more laps for the likes of Killer, Tom, Robbo, Ginger, Coon, and Nathan. I'm sure that they can take them or they should be able to take another set of softs then to the end of the race. So I think it is a soft, medium, soft. Hookie's also made his way into the pits for his second stop. So yeah, he is, I think, the only one so far that is done his second stop now. Once he has chucked on those fresh set of compounded tyres on, then yeah, that's his second stop done. Killer Blue still in the lead of this race. Tom Robbo in second, Ginger in third, Kuhn in fourth, going as wide as he can at the fast right-hander just to capitalise on the regular corner cutting. Nathan in fifth, Big Panther in sixth, 7 seconds behind this train for the lead of this race. Speed Iceman in eighth. Speed Iceman in 7th, Charlie Harris in 8th, as Kuhn has actually made his way into the pits, so he's going for the undercut on a set of the medium tyres. And as they say around here, it's this Monaco without the walls, so even if you go on a fresh set of the soft tyres at lap 28, you've got to think that Kuhn's definitely going to get the jump on these guys. So I wonder if any of them are going to make their way into the pits at the end of next lap, just to capitalise on the fact of all of this going on. As there's been a spinner down in the field, that is in fact Gravity, who made that early pit stop. It's not worked out for him on those set of soft compound tyres because he's had that spin at the fast right-hander.
Yeah, do you know what? I was going to say it was a really good shout from him because if there's no tyre temps, that's probably the biggest problem with the softs. So actually, medium soft is probably the best strat, but it wouldn't normally if there were tyre temps. But yeah, not ideal from him, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, certainly isn't. Obviously, if the tyre temps are locked as well and he's had that spin, I suppose it's not really going to affect him either. So yeah, I think having that spin, it's just going to slow him down a little bit with time, but it's not really going to have any like hot tyres or anything that he needs to try and cool down. Just go straight away again if he wanted to.
Absolutely, yes. We've got there's a quite a good. Oh, we've got Killer with the first blood, haven't we? Really, putting it in the pits, and that's going to be. That's a good. He's a very big fan of taking the aggression, taking the, being the guy that doesn't get undercut from the front, leading from the front, and I think that's a good move from him.
Like Lewis Hamilton-esque, I suppose you could say.
I won't go that far.
Alright, fair enough. I meant as in the aggression and stuff like that, but yeah, fair enough. Speaking of aggression, Kuhn going down the inside of Nick in towards turn 1, gets that move fairly easily. Nick just sort of backing out of that one, didn't want to try and battle with that. A little bit further up, though, Tom Robbo and Spag and Killer, both side by side. Killer side by side now with Spag to get this move done for that P3 position. Gets the move done indeed, and Tom Robbo, I think, is going to follow suit coming through turn 4. They're both side by side through turn 4. Lenny's going to hold it down the inside of Tom Robbo. A bit of wheel banging between a pair of them. Spag, is he going to be able to maintain this position? These guys are on a fresh set of mediums. He's on a relatively new still set of soft tyres. Well, it's 5 laps old. Doesn't manage to maintain that position. Kuhn shoves Nathan off the track as well. Interestingly enough, Nathan, on his second stop, has gone on a set of the soft tyres. So 13 laps he's going to need to do on these soft tyres. Nick going a little bit wide, obviously Nathan going a little bit wide coming out of the fast right-hander as well. But yeah, Nathan's gone on a fresh set of tyres, a fresh set of soft tyres instead of mediums, which everybody else in front has done for. Ginger is now also into the pits, and Speed Iceman, I think, is going to be under pressure by a lot of quick guys very, very soon.
I like it though. It's kind of probably this might even be triggered from what I said about the lack of temps, because I don't think it's wear here, is it, with the softs? It is just the overheating. So using the slightly wonky lobby settings to his advantage, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so. If the temps stay the same, and I suppose it's just however long that they can last. Nathan did go very wide coming out of turn 1 though, so I wonder if he just sort of outbroke himself and it allowed Ginger and Kuhn to move straight back on past him. And in fact, almost getting jumped by Spag as well from all of that. But Spag just dropping back now, almost a second behind the rest of these guys. Killer getting about 3 tenths gap ahead of Tom Robbo, but then Tom Robbo 1 second up ahead of Ginger. So Ginger's starting to slowly claw his way back into those top 2 guys, but they're catching up now, as I said, to the back of Speed Iceman, almost a second in this lap alone. They've caught up to that Mercedes driver, so Speed Iceman might be looking to maybe make a pit stop very soon. And I wonder if Nathan has, it's a bit of a bold one, obviously with the wonky lobby settings like you said, it might have played into his favour very, very well, but yeah, I really don't know how this is going to play out. Speed Iceman into the pits. Killer is still our race, is now gone back into our race lead. Nathan maybe trying to up and move on Shizuku for this P4 position. He's going to try and outbrake his other McLaren counterpart. Try to go down the inside. Kuhn covered it off completely, and now Nathan's maybe going to try and go for another move on the Shizu driver. Is he going to be able to go for anything? No, he does not. Again, Kuhn just completely covers that one off. Nick getting the move done on Spag, and in fact Spag tried to hold it down the inside, understeered a little bit into the ERT driver and goes around, does the QVR driver. So unfortunate for him, now down into 9th position, and when he makes that second pit stop as well, because he still has to make a second stop, then he's going to be put down quite significantly.
Yeah, that is... it's tough, isn't it? Like, you never want to give up positions, but that seemed a little bit silly. To be fine when you're effectively a bit down, but I don't know.
No, certainly, and I agree with that as well. So I'm very unfortunate for Spag, but probably could have played that a little bit better to his advantage. He will need to make that pit stop soon though. I think those softs, obviously with having that spin, well, there's not really any tyre temps or anything like that, so they probably don't matter that much. It just depends on how long he can take them to use them as much as he can. I think probably lap 9 I'd say then, if that is the case. Nathan eyeing up a move on Kuhn once again. Now needs to try and build up a bit of ERS, because Kuhn's didn't obviously win the DRS of Ginger, and I think these soft tyres, when they won't start to go off, but they'll just get a little bit more wear on them over time, which means that they'll then become a little bit worse for wear, I suppose. And then yeah, Nathan's just going to have to try and get this move done. I think he needs to get a move done quick time. Otherwise these softs are just going to completely die on him, and then he's not going to be able to do anything to get the move done on Kuhn, and Kuhn's just going to pull away from him.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He's gone around. A bit of contact between himself and Kuhn through the chicane. Kuhn just completely cut him off at the beginning of the chicane, and yeah, that's Nathan gone round, and he's now behind Nick once again. Nick, I don't think, has made a second stop as of yet. No, he's only made the one stop. Nathan making his second stop now, as yeah, I think this is where things are. I think the Relentless driver might be getting a little bit too hot-headed now, knowing Nathan, especially considering it's not the first time that he's come in contact with someone for tonight. He's going to try and go around the outside of Nick into the final corner. Nick's going to, of course, have the inside line for that final corner, going around the outside. Very nice move indeed from Nathan, of course, on the much fresher tyres, but gets the move done regardless. Spinner at the back of the grid. I believe that is Jendrick down in 18th position on 20-lap old medium tyres, by the way. Yeah, just to confirm it was Jendrick that had that spin. Killer Boost still maintaining the lead of this race at the moment. Tom Robbo in second. Ginger's starting to drop back out of that DRS though, so he could be under a little bit of well, he needs to try and put a bit more pressure on those guys out in front, otherwise Kuhn could be the one that just sort of pounces on it and tries to take that third position.
Yeah, this is warming up quite nicely, because there's all sorts of different strategy variations here. Obviously the top 5 are kind of clear, as Nathan cuts that chicane quite gloriously, thanks to the wonderful settings. But I just riding on board. He's taking absolute liberties across that chicane, as he can, you know. And, well, as I say that, Nick goes so wide through that corner in the beginning of sector 3. Well, sorry, into sector 2, I should say. And I don't know, it's starting to just stagnate a little bit. Obviously, you've got Tom Robbo and Killer. I mean, what I would say is that Tom Robbo isn't really he's not threatening. He's never looking like he's kind of overtaking, and they've both got very similar ERS usage left. So, going to be tight, I think, this one to the end. Yeah,
no, it certainly will be. Ashida getting the move done on Silent, coming through turn 1. Silent trying to hold it around the outside, though, to have the inside for turn number 2. Ashida, though, closes that door on the Ferrari in Ecos. Gets the move done in the end. Very nicely done indeed. Spag unfortunately, after having a bit more TV time, he's now going to be on the TV time once again, but not for a good reason. He's had that spin somehow at the entry of the final corner. Like, it's just one U-shaped turn, and he somehow managed to chuck it around there.
I genuinely, I don't know how he's done that. I don't think he knows.
What does that say? That's impressive. That's definitely impressive. So, yeah, Spag, I don't know how you've done it. You've done it. So, yeah, having that spin in the end. Oh, his wheel died. Right, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, that's obviously why. So that's fair enough. Again, Ginger's now the one that's starting to close up to the back of Tom Robbo. They're saying that Ginger not really got any ERS to play with, so I thought he might be under. I thought Tom Robbo, sorry, might be under threat from Ginger a little bit, but yeah, I said Ginger not got too much ERS left to play with, so he's just going to stick behind Tom Robbo for now. Tom Robbo maybe just trying to eye up a move on Killer Blue soon, but I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done. Will you? I think down in 15th position, just having a spin at the second to last corner, and you just see Noisy just sort of glide on past for him, as well as Spag another spin for the QVR driver, this time at the beginning of sector 3 at the 90-degree right hand corner.
Yeah, I mean, if his wheel's dying, he should absolutely let my teammate through. ESW Hooky. But no, at least Hooky's got a battle now, in all seriousness. That will be pleasing for him as he gets, I think, yeah, he gets a bit of DRS.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So it's going to be a little bit of a battle for P17 between these guys. May as well ride on board with it, why not? I mean, Eco Silent and Big Panther, there's not going to be any overtaking going on in this final sector here anyway, so let's keep on board with that one as Hooky, not good. Oh, he's in fact going to try and go down the inside. I thought he might have tried to go for that move, was Hooky, but no, just has to maintain that position down for 17th at the moment. Esports Wales driver finally gets a little bit of a battle going on, and I thought he was definitely going to try and take that with open arms, but yeah, just has to stick behind the QBR driver for now. They're saying that Lenny has a little bit of an off, squeezes Hooky towards the grass as he gets a little bit of a poor exit coming through there, and now Hooky trying to go for that move a little bit audaciously, and it just didn't work out for him. I think he thought the space was there, and then Lenny just kind of closed it up anyway, but yeah, I've just been told that apparently Spag is on a pad, and I think that shows that Spag is on a pad.
I tell you what, this reminds me of Max Verstappen versus Mick Schumacher when Max Verstappen had like no floor. Because we have another spin up and that's Sam Kids.
He's got that move back done though on Hooky, to be fair.
Yeah, well, he's done well. Silent went round on those 13 lap old mediums, so I think he might be the only one. Yeah, he's the only one yet to stop. So he does need to stop. Someone needs to remind him.
Little bit of argy-bargy with your teammate there, Hooky and Spag. Spag was trying to go keep it around the outside. Hooky just took the inside racing line and sort of forced Spag ever so slightly out wide, but that's now allowed Hooky to get through. And I think Spag, I don't think he's going to be able to get any sort of move done once again on the Esports Wales driver. So I think P18 is the best that he's going to be able to finish. And yeah, I mean, even further up in front, Killer Blue still managing to maintain the lead of this race. We've got 6 more laps left to go of this race. Almost, yeah, I was about to say almost 5, but they've only just sort of come through the exit of Sector 1. But Killer Blue doing well. Him, Tom Robbo and Ginger all maintaining their positions very nicely. Up in first, second and third. It might be a bit more chopping and changing to do with all of those guys as Will You, I think, no, that's not Will You, I think that's Charlie Harris down in 10th position, having a spin at the exit of turn 1. Managed to get himself back on track and get going once again though, but yeah, unfortunately for Charlie Harris, having that spin for Team Has-Beens down into P10. Zexa and Nick both going at it, as in fact, a look on board with Zexa and he's gone straight into the wall, same place where Nathan did it. Funny enough, where him and Nick were both going at it as well. Nick closing the door on Nathan, and then Nathan just sort of stepping on the power a bit too early and then just getting chucked around. I think Zexa might have done the exact same thing as Nathan, so unfortunately for him, he's now down into 11th position and going to try and chase down Sandbound Kid for just trying to salvage at least that P10 position from that Ferrari. But yeah, top lot now starting to close up even more now, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. And we've got a few people that have they're just coming for the softs as well. They're going to be attacking like a Sheeda. Nick kind of in clear air now, but even like Eco Silent potentially as well. So lots of variation going on. The top three have definitely kind of spread themselves away, and I would say that Ginger is struggling to keep up. Looking at the Urs, so it's a two-horse race. I would say for this win, and the IFR team and Excel doing both very well, as we have a Sheeta. A Sheeta is round, and there was also, I think that's Nathan.
Is that Nathan has gone round?
Nathan.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he went round too, and he's struggling, really struggling. He's not lost any places, but he's dropped well off the lead fight now.
And if he's really struggling already on 8-lap-old soft tyres, then I think he could be in trouble, because he's still got another 4 more laps left to go on those soft tyres. So, yeah, I think Nathan in a little bit of trouble if that's how it's going. 4 more laps left now to go of this race, and Tom Robbo still can't seem to find a move past Killer Blue. He's maintaining his ERS though. He's starting to build that up a lot more now, and he's put it up to about 50% in total. Killer Blue around sort of almost the same, just a tiny little bit less than what the IFR driver has. So he needs to try and, well, I think he's going to try and use that for any defence that he can, which could be a bit of a struggle considering that Tom Robbo is starting to close back up to the back of Killer Blue. And in saying that, Ginger, well, you can see that red light flashing on the back of his car. He is definitely struggling to keep up with any sort of ERS. It's a little bit further up in front. I think that is Spag that has gone round at the exit of the chicane. Yet you can see that has into the wall, Nikita Mazepin style, and down into 19th position.
Yeah, not good for him. Not good for him in the slightest. But yeah, this lead battle, Robbo has dropped off quite a bit, and it's just going to kill that little bit of breathing room that he kind of needs. As we have another spinner, that is Will You.
Yeah, it looks as if his car's sort of parked on the wall, which is very weird. So I saw it bouncing up and down. So yeah, there's definitely been some strange things that's gone on in this race. We've had Zander get absolutely chucked into the shadow realm by another driver with desync. Will Use has sort of been bouncing on a wall. We've seen drivers just take the most absurd lines. Wouldn't have it any other way.
The Big Panther has just got Nathan, and that was a great move around the outside. Nathan didn't look in any mood to give it up, but that was a fantastic move there from a man who, you know, is on slower tyres, or probably not slower now, harder compounder tyres, and I wouldn't have said is on the same pace as Nathan really. So it's just mugged him off in front of all of his pals, and there's a few people unhappy with Nathan because apparently he's taking the corner cuts to quite an extreme. But you know,
it's each to their own, I suppose.
The settings are there, right? Like, it's not really his fault. I don't really blame him. Oh, we got a spinner behind Nathan.
I think that's just Spag just doing a few donuts in the middle of the track at this point. I think he's just kind of given up, if I'm honest with you. Just seeing him just sort of sitting in the S section a few times now, just having a few little spins, just enjoying his time where he is at the moment. But yeah, I think things are now going to start to really heat up. Tom Robbo, how close he is now to the back of Killer Blue. This is for this race lead. He's used a lot more of his ERS now on this lap, and still not being able to capitalise on getting that move done. So Killer Blue, very nicely done indeed, just to stay up ahead of Tom Robbo. And as I said, it's allowed him to just keep that pace on him. As I think a bit further down the field, Hookie at the exit of turn 4, having a bit of a spin, now drops down behind Vapor Gendrick.
Big shout out to Itsushida. You've got a pen on regular corner cuts, sir. Take a bow.
I don't know how he's managed that. Gravity's managed to get himself back into the session. Yeah, I genuinely don't know how he has managed to do that at all. But yeah, Hookie's just now taking the Nathan lines, as I'd probably like to call him, probably following Nathan's line. Yeah, now coming up towards the final lap of this race, Killer Blue, I think, is actually looking for the first win for Excel on the absolute Joker settings, might I add. So this could be
something like that.
It really does. And I thought he actually got DRS off of the back of that other car, but no, he has not. Tom Robbo using as much ERS as he possibly can. You can see he's closing up to the back of Killer Blue. Not able to get any sort of move done. Killer Blue going a little bit deep though, coming through the first hairpin. Tom Robbo makes a little bit of an error though, so I don't think he's going to be able to get any sort of move done. Vapor Gendrick, of course, just up in front. I really hope ghosting is on for this Denmark, because it doesn't look as if that car is ghosting up in front. So if ghosting's not on, Gendrick could be playing a part in the final stages of this race. But Killer Blue, the one that is in the lead of this race at the moment. Tom Robbo in second, FRL Ginger in third. I think this is what is looking like the top three is going to be indeed. Kuhn in fourth, Nathan in fifth. Who was the one that started last in this race again? It was the... It was a Shida. Ah, okay. So, yeah. So, where is he at the moment? He's in P14. So, he at least will still get what I think there's 16 points for the team. So it's not too bad. But I think this is where I don't think Killer Blue's going to. I don't think Tom Roberts going to be able to get any sort of move done on Killer Blue. I said unless ghosting isn't on, which it doesn't look like that Vapor car is ghosting. But I don't think that's really going to matter in the end anyway. Killer Blue rounds the final corner. Battle for the top three between all of them so far. I think Tom Robbo just trying to take the widest line as possible to try and capitalise on it, but couldn't do it. Killer Blue takes the win for XL. Tom Robbo ends up finishing in second and Ginger in third. Even if there was strict corner cutting and damage on, that still was a very close race between all of those guys in the end anyway. So I think I don't think the result would have been different anyway from those top three, because they all just outdrove everybody else from that race. Kuhn ends up finishing in fourth, Nathan in fifth. The Big Panther 1/10 of a second behind Nathan in sixth position. Speed Iceman in seventh, Nick in eighth, Charlie Harris in ninth, Silent rounding out that top 10, Sam Bamkin in 11th, Zexa in 12th, Noisy in 13th, Ashida in 14th, Will You will finish in 15th position, Gravity in 16th, Gendrick in 17th, Hooky in 18th, and then Spag comes across the line now to finish in 19th position, and Zander, our only DNFer of this race. So yeah, that was that's definitely an eventful race to say the least. Gendrick just doing a few little donuts at the penultimate corner, and I don't blame him. As I said, that was definitely an eventful race to say the least. But I kind of hope that he does just finish quickly so we can get the next lobby underway.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the guys are in the lobby, can you just please invite your whoever's replacing you in the next race, and then leave. That would be super. I've added everyone as friends, so yeah. But just if you could, that'd be fantastic. I'm just going to take a very quick 30-second toilet break, frankly, and I'll be back in a sec. But
Okay.
I'll
well, you won't actually be with me. I will let you know. But yeah, obviously I think you've already gone anyway, so I'll wait until you come back anyway. But because I will be staying in the lobby because I'll actually be driving at Russia. So hopefully he gets that sorted out. Yeah, that is interesting one. Those three guys were having like some actual sweaty race at the front, and then for the rest, I don't think it was that sweaty. I think they were just driving to survive at that point. But yeah, in the end, Killer Blue is the one that comes out on top of that race to win it in the end. In second, of course, being IFR Tom Robbo, and third being FRL Ginger. Shizukun in fourth, Nathan in fifth, Big Panther in sixth, with Speed Iceman in seventh, Nick Race in eighth, Charlie Harris in 9th, Silent in 10th, Sam Bumkin in 11th, Sector 12th, Noisy in 13th, Ashida in 14th, Will You in 15th, Gravity 16th, Gendrick 17th, Hooky in 18th, Spag in 19th, and then of course our only DNFer of VSR Zander in 20th position, respectively. So yeah, that's round number 13. I said I think we might just count that as the Joker race because that was yeah, I think that is just a Joker race in my opinion. That was something that was very interesting.
yeah. Interesting. Interesting is the word.
Right, Mark.
Interesting is the word.
I think you need
Well,
to
good
try and
luck.
get yourself set up for this next one because I am driving in this one. I think you just quickly swap with Jake once he comes out of that
Yeah,
car.
What are you predicting? Come on, let's get a live driver interview now. Let's do this.
What am I
What are you
predicting?
predicting for yourself? Yeah, for you.
I don't think I'm getting inside that top 10, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been able to barely practice because I've been trying to sort everything else out. I've done a few laps, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I'm going to do too well.
It's almost like this takes up our time, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
slightly, slightly. It's quite unbelievable to be fair, but yeah, I suppose it is what it is. Um, But yeah,
Well, good luck.
thank you very much. What I'm going to do for the stream now, I'm just going to quickly pop it on over to the elevator music again. Don't fall asleep, and we will be back with you guys very shortly. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in for tonight so far. Throughout this graveyard shift, we're probably about halfway through the graveyard shift at the moment. But yeah, make sure you guys are tuning in for race number 14 very very shortly with Killer Blue and with Old School.